Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be taking a look at the newest RSI rover variant, the URSA Medivac, aka the NURSA. So what kind of role does this vehicle play in the greater scheme of things, and who would be interested in getting it? Well, CIG announced some new changes that are coming to the medical gameplay, specifically how it pertains to medbeds, and they've announced that all medbeds are going to be able to be used as spawn points. The only caveat that goes along with this is that the respawn range will depend on the bed's class size. So a tier level 3 bed would allow respawning from up to 20 kilometers away, while T2 beds would now allow respawning from up to 50 kilometers away, and we have no idea what kind of range a T1 bed is going to have. And just to give you a sense of scale, T2 beds used to have a range limit of 20 kilometers. The medical URSA is just like the standard URSA in most ways. From the outside, you'll see that it still has the same dimensions and basic shape as the other URSA variants. The front interior of the Medivac has had some minor updates done to it, but other than that, it's going to be the same driver-passenger setup that you'd find in the Lynx or the standard URSA. And it still has a turret which has two size 1 guns that can be controlled by either the driver or the passenger, and it's got a drop-down ramp in the back. Along the starboard side wall, it has a single tier 3 bed. It's also got extra room for the passenger's gear. It has internal components access, as well as enough room to store a mission-critical size box. And along the other wall, it has a weapons rack, a wash station, a place for an extinguisher, a riot seat, and a door that's been built into the side of the rover. So with that said, who would be interested in getting this vehicle? I'm guessing that anyone who has a ship that's big enough to transport it. And that means if you have a Hammerhead, a 600i, a Valkyrie, an MSR, a Perseus, Constellation, Freelancer Max, Starfarer, Caterpillar, Crucible, Pioneer, Hercules, Corsair, Aresta, Nautilus, Liberator, Zeus, or Reclaimer, then this would definitely be the tops on your list of vehicles to get as a companion craft. And I'm sure that I missed more than a few ships in that list, but the point is, if you're having something as capable of transporting a rover-sized vehicle and you get the Medivac, then it'll be like upgrading your ship to having a mobile medical bay. Now, I should state that the Medivac's bed is only a tier level 3, which is considered to be the lowest tier level of injury that you could get. But even if your character has a tier level 2 or 1 injury, you could use the NURSA to keep them stable while you transport them to a hospital. And because the rover is going to have such a profound impact on so many ships and how they function, I would list the Medivac as being a must-have when it comes to ground transports, especially if you own any of the ships that I previously mentioned. Eventually, it's also going to have a very specific advantage over a ship like the Medical Pisces after no-fly zones have been introduced into the game. And at that point, the NURSA will become a necessity for doing certain ground-based missions. Another major impact that the medical URSA is going to have on gameplay is that it's going to add an extra layer of versatility to any ship that can carry one. Like for instance, you could start using a lot of medium-sized and some large ships as a search and rescue vessel. Also, being able to manually upgrade them to have a spawn point really helps to take away a lot of the punishing factor from a game that's already very unforgiving in a lot of ways. And it does it without taking away from the uniqueness of the other vessels that already have an onboard medical facility built into them. And that was simply done by increasing the range that ships which have a size 2 medbed can allow you to spawn from. Those are just some of the ways that you can use this vehicle to augment your gameplay experience. And that's going to be it for this buyer's guide for the URSA Medivac. I've been your host, Law of the West. Thanks for watching, and take care.